Bank holiday boot sale extravaganza day number 3, and you would start to think by this point the old morale starts to slip and the batteries are starting to run low, but oh no. I think the way I approach going to boot sales is just assume next weekend it's going to be chucking it down and all the boot sales are cancelled. I think looking at it that way encourages you to make the most of the opportunities that you have on a particular day. So this weekend is obviously an abundance of boot sales, so hitting as many as possible. So 4 done this weekend so far, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. I'm hopefully going to be doing 2 today. It's been raining overnight, it has dried out, and I'm not going to let that put me off, because we're going further afield. A boot sale that I've only ever been to once before, Adams Chelford, which is into Cheshire, about an hour away from me. And then fingers crossed hit Bolton on the way back as well. Now, I know I bang on about having a coffee in the morning, but all the rest of the time I have decaf, and it's really weird. I know I'm not being preachy or anything like that, but it's something that I've found really works well. Switching to decaf, I know that some people who subscribe to the channel will probably swear at me, or think that's a swear word, but switching to decaf's actually made me a lot more switched on. I find that generally speaking, I'm a lot more alert and it's easier to get up. I know it's counterintuitive, but having that one coffee in the morning has double the effect that it normally would. Maybe something for you to look into. Right, let's get on the road. How much is that, bud? £5. Have you got any leads with it? Yeah, no worries. 14 volt. No, I've got a bloody cable for that as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's something that you got there, isn't it, for a car boot?
That's a bonus. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think I bring one of them around the market. It's alright. That.
Yeah.
What else is got on there?
Would you on your Atari?
15, mate.
Would you go 10 on it?
It's pretty good at 15, really. Sorry. Rain, I hope it doesn't, mate.
It's supposed to be alright today.
Yeah, hopefully. It's just been a bit sort of
damp overnight, isn't it? Cheers, man. Thank you.
Cheers. Nice one. I didn't use them in that as well. You can have that for a tenner if you want.
Oh, nice one. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Cheers.
I was going to
tenner.
Yeah, throw it into mine, mate.
Yeah. You're right. Cheers, man.
Nice one.
Have a good day, pal. Cheers.
It does work.
Yeah. What we got on it?
25. There's one thing inside as well. They're about 75 quid on that.
Yeah, a bit all over the place, the prices.
Yeah.
Is there any batteries in it?
I can't remember now, you know. I think I've got 2 now.
Bit of a gamble. You want to do 15, would you?
Yeah, go on, you got a few things.
Cheers, man. Thank you. I'm going to be coming back in like 5 minutes and giving you some more money. Cheers, Paul. Thank you.
Was it busy?
There were some nice ones yesterday, like Lady and the Tramp and Scamp.
You okay?
Sorry, you're on there.
Yeah.
How much are these?
I want 30 on them.
30. I'd never heard of them before, that's why I was looking them up.
They're a Selfridges brand. And,
Alright, okay.
it depends on what they do, how old and
Now about your Clarks.
8 on those.
Would you do 5 on those?
No, it's too early, and they
Yeah,
are
no
as
worries.
new as they are, so 8 is.
Of course, yeah. So it's fair enough, people asking you.
No, it's all right, I don't mind the question. Just people don't accept the answer.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, why would you get offended? It is what it is, isn't it? That's great, that. Cheers.
Perfect, thank you very much.
Never wore them, love. So I
Sorry?
was scared. I've never wore them. So I was scared of getting the suede dirty, and then the suede gets dirty anyway.
Soft floor in it, yeah. Just trying to decide if I want to do the work to tart them up a bit. Would you do 3 on them?
No, 4 on them is worth it.
Yeah, go on. I know I'm making a rod for my own back by but I've got a brush.
It will only be dust, it's not mud or anything.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
literally been sat on a shelf.
Cheers, have a good day.
You too. Cheers. Because this part I can sit in the car.
Yeah.
There's more late. Test the suspension.
Yeah.
How much have you got on that?
Fiver.
Heavy lump in it.
They were then, weren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Me too.
And that one?
Forget mate, fiver, yeah, be interesting.
Oh, don't worry, I was having a nightmare with that one. Oh, thank you.
It's okay.
Thanks. You probably put it better than me. Thank you. I was having a right nightmare slagging that one off. Falling off. I'm surprised it stayed up actually.
Did you do 2 for 8?
No, mate, I'm going to stick to my guns on a fiver. I reckon
Yeah,
I'll
no
go
problem.
Is that 2, yeah?
then.
Yeah, yeah.
10 of them, please. Thank you.
That's
Never seen me
great,
get up
cheers.
so quick. I'm like, oh.
Customer!
Is that me?
That's it, yeah, yeah.
Thanks a lot, pal.
Cheers, have a good day.
You too.
It was in a farm near Leek on a trailer. Yes, it's 2 separate signs. Okay. Yeah, it's 2 separate, but they've been put together.
How much have you got in your jacket, pal?
15 on that one. It's got all the protecting bits.
Yeah, yeah.
Good make as far as I'm aware.
Would you go 10?
I do 12.
We do 12. That's great, that. Cheers.
Well, thank you.
Have a good day.
Cheers.
They've never been used, either of those. The straps are inside and they're antler ones, I think.
Yeah, how much are they?
2 the pair for 12 quid. I've got to sell them as a pair because
Yeah, of course.
I'll never get rid of the vanity case.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Could do 10.
Go on, take.
Thank you. Cheers, thank you very much.
Unless you want a lot of change.
I don't mind change. Don't mind change at all.
I'll change it.
It's all spendable, isn't it? That's great, that. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. Got a really strong sense of deja vu. I'm sure I bought this game off you yesterday.
Yeah, probably.
What I'm thinking, if I buy this one as well, if one of them's missing pieces, then
You've definitely
it's a win, isn't it? Yeah. How much is this one?
It'll be the same pound.
Same pound.
Yeah.
Brilliant, thank you. I should get a loyalty card for you guys tonight.
Yeah.
Deterring to find something else. I'll see you in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Morning.
Morning.
How much are your bowls?
We got about 18.
18.
That's a fair price. I don't really know what they're worth.
I could go 15.
15? Yeah?
Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
There we are. Thank you very much. Have a good day now. Cheers. How much you got on those, pal?
10 on those, please, mate. We want ones.
Yeah, she did. I tell toilet rolls, you know, at the end. Yeah, I'm still here. I've been coming 30 years.
How much are your pedals up?
5. 2, you said, yeah. Do you want to get 5? If it's that one, please, I'll put it Adams, yeah. It's the only one I'm so glad we did it. Yeah. They're 8 from the
Did you do 3?
8 pounds. 4. 8. There is. How much
you,
are
Chaz.
they? Great, thank you. I'm asking 10.
Now, of course, I could have edited this video in such a way that I didn't look a complete and utter muppet. But you guys have come to expect a certain level of honesty from me, and that's exactly what you're going to get. I've just turned up at the Winwick car boot sale after saying that I hadn't been here before. It turns out it's the same one as that I know as the Warrington car boot sale. So I have been here before. It looks a little bit quiet as well. We're still going to get in there, and to be fair, it's closer to home than I thought I was going to be. What a muppet.
I don't think there's a battery for that one.
No.
I watched your YouTube, by the way. I just spotted you.
Sorry?
I watched your YouTube channel.
Oh, nice one. Cheers, man. Appreciate it.
It used to be ABL, didn't it?
It's ABL now,
Oh,
yeah.
now it's ABL, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. It used to be Vernon Spiker Lifestyle.
Yes, yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. Back in the day. We're going back a bit now.
Feel free to look stuff up, you know, if there's anything worthwhile, you know.
Yeah, cheers, man. Thank you. It's quite quiet today. Well, last time I was here, it was even.
Yeah.
It was just today, wasn't it?
It's a bit slower nowadays, I'd say.
Yeah.
A lot of dealers as well. And
Yeah, yeah.
new stuff, and you know.
Chelford was busy.
I've heard it's supposed to be good, that, yeah.
Yeah. I've only been there once before and it was chucking it down, so how much do you want for it?
I don't have a clue if it works, does that know? Just £3.
3 quid.
£3.
Because I don't have a clue,
Yeah.
that's all.
No worries. The voltage on it's not obvious, but I've just seen one spares or repairs. It's worth the hassle. So even if it's knackered, then
I've not looked at myself, and I'd literally give it last night.
yeah. Might end up being the only thing in the trolley today from here. Nice to meet you anyway. All the best. Yeah. I think I'd struggle marketing that helmet, unbranded. It's been decent, new, look brand new really, but it's going to be difficult to market if it's not branded. People need to trust that kind of thing. How much are your phones up?
I'm asking 7.
Have you got all the cables again?
Yeah.
Which is the base unit? Or the
I think I can do this.
right, so that's the main one. Oh, but yeah.
And then there's the cables.
That was brilliant. Would you do a £5 for it?
Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
Thank you.
You're Dave, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
Yeah,
How are
I
you?
watch your channel, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we watched. She does all the
Brilliant, thank you. What are you called?
Sorry?
Are you-
Diane.
Diane, pleased to meet you,
Nice
Diane.
to meet
Pleased to meet you, boss. Yeah, it's really strange actually. I've only picked up 2 things. I've been down to Adams at Chelford.
Oh, did you go?
Really
Yeah.
busy there
Was
down
it,
there.
yeah?
And the only 2 purchases I've been made are just from subscribers.
Yeah.
Just another couple over there.
Yeah. We did the new one in Manchester Airport. You know,
All right.
the City Airport on Saturday.
Holly Road, is it? Holly Road?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was really Barn Airport.
Yeah.
It's called City, Manchester City
But
Airport.
they're gonna be doing it now every Saturday, and that was big.
All right, cool.
You've been going to church, haven't you?
Yeah, oh, I love that place.
Yeah.
It's so good. Oh, I love trying new places as well.
Yeah.
But I just,
I was massive. Like I've only been going to Bolton, not to sell, I've been going to buy.
yeah,
For the past about 4 or 5 weeks. I've been going.
yeah.
It's just so good.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the recommendation. I'll try Holly Lane next weekend.
Yeah, honestly. it's
Brilliant.
good, yeah.
Cheers, have a good day. All the best.
See you later.
We're going to go back to the top, but then you'll see it there.
How much have you got on your jacket? It's missing. No. How much are these? Have you got any more?
It was six pieces I sold all. There's only one left. It was there, 6 pieces.
Yeah, no, sorry, say how much did you say?
Yeah.
How much, sorry?
2 quid.
2 quid. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
How much are your lamps?
They're 4 quid each, but if you want them both, I'll do them for 6. Both of them.
Your 5 of them?
The 2, yeah, go on.
Thank you, cheers. How much have you got in your trainers?
Tenner.
Get away from it all. I don't know.
I was right, it was quiet today. Still a few pickups. Always nice to support people who support the channel as well. So let's get all this stuff home now and take you through what I picked up and obviously how much it's getting listed for. I'll see you in a wee while. Now on the drive home there, I got to thinking about the accessibility of reselling. Now it's all well and good me showing you what I'm picking up and telling you how much I'm spending on everything that I've picked up and how much it's getting listed for, but I'm acutely aware that not everybody has very much budget. Some people don't have any budget at all. But the beauty of reselling is it is accessible to everybody. It's been a while since I mentioned this actually, but I started out my reselling journey with a budget of £20 and I've turned it into a full-time business that's enabling me to live my life on my own terms. I'm not rich. I will never be rich from reselling. No interest whatsoever in being rich, but it's given me the comfort to choose my own battles as far as what I do work-wise. And to be fair, it doesn't even feel like work. It's a really enjoyable way to earn money. Realistically speaking though, you can actually start your reselling journey with no budget whatsoever. Everybody's got a junk drawer with an old mobile phone in it. Everybody's got bits of electrical items that they don't use anymore. Everybody's got an old pair of trainers, pair of shoes. You get the idea, lying around the house that they're not using anymore. Sell that, generate some money to invest in the next step, and you can start scaling your reselling from there. And the more you reinvest in that instance, the quicker it'll grow. Right, let's get into the pickups from Bank Holiday Monday at the boot sales. So total spend today was £169, and for that I got 19 pickups. Again, a good spread of items. So first out of the gate is this RST leather motorcycle jacket. Very good condition. There's a couple of dirty marks on it, but they'll wipe up no problem at all. Often when you're picking up leather bike jackets, they'll be missing the lining. This one's present, fortunately. I'm not a fan of having jackets with this in, regardless of how. I'd rather wear a jumper than have this liner in a jacket. But the fact that it's present is a good selling point. This has got full armour in it. Remember I was saying before about in bike jackets, you're looking for shoulder, elbow and ideally back armour. Back armour's not always present because some people prefer not to have it in, but it's in this one. RST, good quality branded clothing for bikers as well. This is a size 44 men. Don't be thinking that it's only the fancy patterns and colours on jackets that sell, because the plain black ones are probably the best sellers of all. Doesn't mean there isn't money in the more colourful ones. Listing value on this jacket, £60. Next, a new item for me. Never looked at this type of product before. These are nuke proof cycle levers. They look like they've been used but maybe put on and taken off. Not because I've had experience selling these, but I've had experience fitting them when I was younger. I'm checking the threads haven't been damaged, and these don't look like they've had much use, if any really. They might have just picked up a bit of dirt from storage. The model on these is the Neutron Evo. Not spectacular value, but nice and bread and butter. I didn't pay very much for them anyway. Listing value on those pedals, £20. Some more bowls from the weekend. These are in really good condition. Thomas Taylor is the brand, more recognisable brand. There's lots of different brands around. Even the unbranded wooden ones still sell, more for ornamental purposes. These are match ready. I've had very little wear. There's no cracks, no chips, no excessive wear to them. They're a size 2, which is, in my experience, the most popular size. Got a nice leather carry bag with them and measuring tape, all selling points. I may even be guilty of having bowls tank a little bit in price, because historically I've been getting north of £50 for a set like this, but still plenty of margin, and listing value on this set of 2, £35. Now this is a good name to look out for as far as higher end weekend luggage is concerned. Antler, it was a set of two, both from the, I paid one price for the two items from the same seller. The weekend bag, they're in absolutely mint condition, possibly never been used. The main shoulder straps for them are still in the protective cases. Listing value on the weekend bag will be £25, and on the vanity case, £20. You can really feel the quality with these as well. Both got padlocks with them as well, which is another selling point, and virtually unused. In fact, I think the seller said that they had never been used. Going off the condition, I can certainly believe that. Now, this is quite an interesting item. A couple of years ago, I picked up an absolute boatload of communications equipment, cables, adapters, phones. I paid £80 for, I mean, it was a huge bundle as well, and I did extremely well out of it. In that bundle was, I think, 4 or 5 of these Conftel conference telephones. Now, checking comps at the time, they were just ridiculous money. I think of the, say, 6 that I had, only 2 were working, but one of them paid for everything in that bundle. One thing that would have put me off picking this up would have been what adapter it takes, and it's 14 volt adapter for this device, and I know for a fact that I've got one in my box of cables, and also a phone line to plug into it as well, so that'll be good to go. Obviously it's untested, but I didn't pay very much for it. Back in the day, I was getting over £100 for something like this, but nowadays not so much, not very much in the way of comps either. Listing value on that £30. From the same lovely ladies I bumped into at Chirk yesterday, the same game, Stratego 4, bread and butter item. I picked this up from because they were absolutely lovely ladies. Not that that should sway me in any way, but hey, I'm a red-blooded male. Only paid £1 for it, but the thinking on picking that up was maybe one or both of the ones that I picked up are missing parts, so one could be a donor if the other isn't complete, but assuming they're both complete, I'll stick the same listing value on that as the other one of £12. Now, I did get a bit excited when I saw Atari. I don't profess to know a great deal about consoles, but you don't know what you don't know. Relatively speaking, this is a more modern release of an Atari console, and it's one of the devices with pre-installed games. 20 games on that. I checked inside, it's got everything you need. It's got the AV connection, 2 controllers, and the power lead. It's got its manual as well, which is obviously a Brucey bonus. Listing value on that, £25. And almost next to it, mini disc players. Always watch out for mini disc players. Really good sellers. This one has got all its bits and pieces with it as well, or should I say most of its bits and pieces with it. It's got its manual and inline controller. No headphones with it. Not too fussed about that because second-hand headphones, people can be a bit funny about them. Always holding consistently decent returns. It's got to be relative to what you're paying for it. They sell quite well on their own without any accessories, but the fact that this is boxed with its manual and its inline controller gives me a very confident listing value of £55. I haven't been picking up phones for a bit now, but the people that sold me those are the Warrington car boot. Not the Winwick car boot, or Winwick car boot. Still can't believe I did that. The people I bought these off were subscribers to the channel, so thank you very much. For the life of me, I can't remember your names. I'm useless with names, but it was on the video. These are the BT Graphite 2100 Trio. Everything's there. One thing I didn't do, which I should have done, was checked if they had batteries, and they don't have the batteries. I mean, to be fair, I didn't pay very much for them anyway, but the rechargeable batteries are quite expensive. The fact that they're not present on these are going to eat into the margin, obviously. But still, worst case scenario, supported subscribers to the channel, so can't be a bad thing. The listing value, £25. But the one takeaway from it is always check that the rechargeable batteries are present, because rechargeable batteries are expensive. Next, a nice 35mm camera. This is the Minolta Zoom 90. Good quality, sturdy feeling camera. Obviously with stuff like this, there's only so much testing that you can do on site, but a couple of things to test for is obviously make sure there's no visible scratches on the lens. If you can check the viewer, make sure that's nice and clean, no debris in there. Opening up, there's sometimes film in them and sometimes isn't. Obviously opening it probably ruins the film, but that's not really a selling point anyway. But on the door, if you check in for any kind of foam, any kind of insulation, rubber or padding, usually just around the window, make sure that isn't degrading. Rub your finger over it. Sometimes sponge crumbles away, it degrades over time, and it's very important to check those for resale. Make sure on the inside, behind the film, if there's no film in there, that again the inside of the lens is clean, clear of fungus, scratches, any kind of debris. There's a bit of dust in there, which is not a big issue. You can wipe that away, and generally the inside of the rest of the camera is nice and clean. Check in the battery compartment anyway. You want to make sure there's no sign of leak or any kind of debris or rusting. Also gives you an opportunity to check which type of battery it takes as well, so you can obviously cost it if it's missing. Didn't pay very much for the camera anyway, and the listing value on it is £40. I picked this up from a seller that I've seen a few times at the Fitzwilliam boot sale. He's rarely got anything that I'm interested in, to be fair. This is a card game, Bad People. I'm assuming by the sounds of it, it's along the lines of Cards Against Humanity. If this was any more expensive, I probably wouldn't have picked it up, so I only paid £2 for it, and the comps on it, such as they are, not really worthwhile selling used, but because this is new and sealed, listing value on that £13. At £8, this PS3 was a gamble I was prepared to take. Obviously I couldn't test it on site anyway, but there's no cables with it, and it does look tatty. It looks to me like it's just surface gunk though. Now how it got in that condition remains to be seen. I will test it, but like I say, I only paid out £8 for it. I was worth taking the risk because a PS3 only needs a figure of 8 power cable and a HDMI lead to test. Obviously I'll need a controller, which I know I've got. In fact, I think it was Saturday I picked one up for £1. Might have been Chirk last weekend. I don't know. I've done so many boot sales lately, I'm losing my mind, let alone track of time. So at this stage, assuming it's working, listing value on that is £50 to £60 with obviously all its bits with it. I probably won't stick any games with it. Aside from my testing game, I haven't got any other games in stock at the minute anyway, so I'll just sell it without. Clark's always a good solid seller. These are Clark's Active Air. Pretty good condition. They do need a brush, but I'm looking for excessive wear to the sole and obviously splits on the heel, any kind of nasty scuffs to the fabric. So a bit of a brush will bring these up really nice for the pictures. Listing value on these Clark shoes, £25, and they're a size 12. Now for some reason, some blokes actually laugh at me when I say this, but I am a lamp lover. I don't understand the reference at all. These are very modern, actually, brushed brass table lamps, quite small. Not as ornate as I would like to have picked up. The Corinthian column lamps you've seen me pick up in the past are strong sellers, but still not unattractive, these lamps. I will be selling them without shades and without bulbs. For the cost of bulbs, I think they're a personal preference anyway. Some people like different shape bulbs, different effects, LEDs, blah, blah, blah. And obviously they're fragile, so they don't travel very well. Listing value on these lamps, £18. The one item today that's making me feel a little bit nervous. This is a John Packer brass cornet. The last cornet I picked up is still hanging around. They're slow sellers, but they go for decent money. The last one I picked up was a Bach CR310, if memory serves. There was a couple of dents in that one, and one of the valves was sticking. This is in pristine condition. That was a very strong indication this would be a good pickup for me. All the valves are free. Doesn't play very well. There's a blockage in there, needs addressing. These are quite easy to clean anyway, so a quick clean through will soon sort that out, no doubt. The reason I'm nervous about it is because the comps are all over the place for this particular brand of cornet. Now, I don't think I'll be losing money on this. In fact, I'm very confident I won't be losing money on this, but whether I make any money on this remains to be seen. The listing value I'm going to put on this cornet is £90 to £190. What I'll do on the instances where I've used a range is obviously for the grand total from today, I'll just use the bottom end of the range. I may even end up breaking even on this. Either way, it's going to be a slow seller, but sometimes you've got to take that risk anyway. The fact that it's got a decent mouthpiece with it and a case is a good selling point, but I shall have to report back on that one. This is a good example of looking past surface gunk. These are Adidas Hardcore Defender boots. I think these will clean up really well with a suede brush and a baby wipe. There's no nasty scuffs, there's no scarring, there's no separation from the sole, so they'll clean up really well. But to be fair, I'm going to put a range on these as well because there's no way of telling until I've actually put the effort in to clean them up. Lower end of the scale, listing value £20, but if they clean up really, really well, listing value will be £30. Last couple of items now. This Pentax SPO 115. I've sold SPO cameras in the past, which is what flagged this up to me as something I should be looking at. Obviously I won't go through the checks you need to be doing on this type of camera again. Listing value on the Pentax SPO 115, £35. Lastly today, this camcorder. Now annoyingly, with a lot of camcorders, they have really obscure adapter voltages, so there's a very good chance that I won't have the adapter for this. I will put some effort into sourcing one. If it's too expensive, it'll just be getting listed as untested as it is, but it's going to be worthwhile putting that effort into at least trying to find an adapter. Untested, so technically spares or repair, this will sell for £20. With an adapter and working, well, £60. It's got a case with it, but that's not really so much of a selling point, but maybe just make the pictures look a bit better. So for the video, listing value on that, £20. Because today marks the end of Easter bank holiday weekend at the boot sales, I thought it might be interesting to give you the grand totals for the whole weekend. So total spend this weekend was £550, and for that I picked up 67 items, and the total gross listing value for all of those items is £2,178. Now of course there's going to be items in there that just don't work, will have to get binned, and as you're no doubt aware, that's a gross listing value, so there's still fees to come off that, money to put aside for the tax. It's perhaps important to note that this weekend, although it's been a long weekend, it's been by no means exceptional. There's still other places you can source stock from, auctions, charity shops, so on and so forth. So those kind of figures are all out there to be had. But like I said before, you can choose your own level of involvement, as well as potentially being a source of full-time income. It can also be good for saving up for bits and pieces, holiday, pay some extra bills off early, buy a car, whatever. Probably laboured that point a bit too much now. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, hopefully you have, please hit the thumbs up, it really helps the channel. And if you're not already subscribed, I'm sure you already are because you're super savvy lads and lasses, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell will give you a notification the next time I post a video up. Thanks very much indeed for watching the video, guys. I've been Dave Keeffe, you've been amazing, I'll see you soon. All the valves are free. Doesn't play very well. There's a blockage in there, needs addressing.